Arwe Legate, your home welcomes you and your victorious legion. Death comes to us all eventually. All we can do is delay it. Sometimes not even that is possible. I'm sure you have a lot of things to discuss before you disband. Let me know when you're ready to proceed.
Last time we stood here with a legion, we had Lucullus with us. I know he was your Patronus, but the man was like a father to me. We will. I will. I hate to be back in this shithole of... shit. To you, probably. You're back home as a victorious commander, and I'm back home as... not myself. I don't know yet. There's a lot I need to take care of. Aww, that warms my cold black heart. You are making the same mistake your enemies are making. You are underestimating Cleopatra. You think you can control her. Obviously, you are not the first person to think so.
Is it time? I've told you before. It is this idleness that bothers me. Can't we just quickly go in? I have things to do. Oh, all right. We have to go to the arena. Agrippa told me they have received 2 new tigers. We need to see them. And pet them. When I said we, I was talking about Raya. She will teach me tiger tongue, so I might talk to big cats. Once I speak tiger tongue, I shall try teaching you, too. I'll take it easy. This campaign made me realize there is a lot to learn. And while Celeris is a great magister, it is impossible for him to teach me everything. But he said if he teaches me how to fish, my problems will be solved. He is wise and formidable. It is not easy to fight for so long and still be alive. I shall listen to every single word of his. It was glorious. We have conquered many lands and slain numerous foes. It was strange of you to leave the Queen on her throne, though. Spoils of war should not be left for the enemy to recover. I see. You still plan on conquering her. Forgive me for doubting you.
Recent events are making me think about the way we're approaching our long-term problems. No matter what we do, our opponent seems to retain the upper hand. This is the second time he's accomplished the same trick. I think we now know the way he plays the game. We're clearly not playing by the same rules. It's for this reason that the game is not fair. We stop playing fair. Consider the Rubicon. No legatus is allowed to keep their command inside the Pomerium. The Legion shall always disband here, beyond these predefined borders. So it is written, so it shall be done. Of course, because the law threatens obliteration, everyone obeys it, and everyone expects it to be obeyed. That makes us predictable. This is how Luco always wins. He knows what our possible moves are, so he prepares himself accordingly. He plans for both outcomes, and controls the result either way. Now, consider the results of a commander crossing the Rubicon with his legion, ignoring the ancient law and the tradition. Certainly not. I was simply using as an example the absurdity of the notion, and the fact that Rome would be helpless against such a legion were it to just march through. Loco exploits our adherence to established norms and patterns. As long as we're playing the same game, he wins. It is an idea worth considering, but we should be careful about it, lest we become predictable in our rule-breaking. My frail bones are in dire need of warm water and a well-executed massage, but I also have an interesting meeting to attend. Indeed, a lady who allegedly knows the solution to the one formula of Pythagoras. The one formula. The solution to all that was, all there is, and all there ever will be. Pythagoras famously believed that what we perceive is a mere reflection of a world of numbers, a world of conditions and formulaic instructions, a construct or a mere representation of a true reality that could easily be derived from one formula. He who knows the formula knows all. I have little to lose. The political situation we ended up with is truly interesting. It looks like Queen Cleopatra cares only for herself, but in politics especially, looks can be deceiving. We helped her greatly, and she will probably not forget that. I'd cultivate the relationship. I'm sure there's a lot you can do face to face.
Let's get this over with. Where to even start? I served with Lucullus for the majority of my life. In a way, he turned me into the man I am today. In return, I caused his death. He would have been alive today if we hadn't delayed our departure for the sake of fixing my mistakes. Nothing but a disappointment. And you are more of a sibling to me than my own little brother. It is comforting to know I have never disappointed you. But somehow I feel like I have failed in the big quest that is my life. I should have been more important, more significant. Feels like something old Celeris would say. There is one thing I can tell you, though. Caeso Quinctius Aquilinus will never be a villain. Enough of those roaming around. Probably, but not for the reasons you might think. You think I'll go there and drink myself into a torpor? Let's just say I have an outstanding debt. The kind you can't pay back with denarii. It certainly ended better than it started. Putting Cleopatra in charge was a smart move. If you had been a man, I'm certain you would be Pharaoh of Egypt by now. Nevertheless, I wish we were able to save Lucullus. If only we had departed a day earlier. You're probably right. Still, that makes me wonder. There's something I need to handle now that we're back. I may call on you if I need your help, but hopefully it won't come to that.
Do not worry. I will not ask to live with you again this time. There is important thing I must do anyway. I think I will never feel at home anywhere. Home is with family. And my family has lost me. I know, but I will not be burdened to you. Thank you. If it is possible, I will come. If I don't see you again, then thank you.
Time to disband, Legate? You will always be a warrior at heart. Now it's time to be a citizen.
Good morning, Domina. You spent longer than usual getting ready today. Funerals are awkward and uncomfortable for everyone involved. Fortunately, there are a lot of mundane, everyday tasks for you to take care of today. We have some outstanding debts. There's the issue of inheritance. The kitchen needs to know what you wish to eat today. Finally, the wine you have ordered has arrived. The mourners, they require their due payment. Additionally, one of them has severely injured herself during the funeral. She is in need of medical attention. As you wish. A slight understatement. His library and his 2 summer villas belong to you now. But the rights need to be officially transferred, and therein we run into some problems. Despite your station as the owner of this villa and as a temporary head of this family, you can't acquire additional property. Lucullus anticipated this and left everything to your husband. It may be a good idea to accelerate your plans. Having a husband would eliminate a lot of potential problems. A sensible thought, Domina. It is boar season. We should buy a few and keep them in stock. Flavius says the mussel harvest was pretty good too, if you fancy seafood. Last but not least, I can order a variety of fruits for you. I'll see if I can find some. Indeed? I was wondering about that. I assumed you were sampling the competition. Well, they have brought it to the study. We shall inspect the item. Perhaps it was intended for someone else. I'll bring a generous amount to give us some room for negotiation.
If you intend to purchase me, you should know you would not be the first person to try and fail. The wine is priceless, a genuine recipe of Mago, the only fitting gift I could think of on short notice. I think you deserve priceless things. I do owe you an explanation. Well, Legate, or should I call you Legater? I value names and what they represent. In order to call you by your name, I feel I need to know who you are. I've come to visit you out of curiosity. There is form and procedure to be observed first, hence this introduction. Your reputation preceded your arrival in Rome. Both optimates and populares were intrigued by the deeds of this mysterious protege of Lucullus. A prime candidate for senatorship, some said, while others saw you as a potential foe. None expected you to be a woman. I had my suspicions. Shall we talk in a more private setting? I'm rather tired of standing around. Nothing could be further from the truth. I enjoy seafood if I have the option. I've heard a lot about your mother's cooking.
Under the circumstances, it might turn out to be disappointing. I shall strive for perfection nevertheless.
May I ask you a question? Why do you do all of this? Your personal problems were solved after the Asia campaign. Why risk everything again in Africa? You could have stayed home. Loyalty is an admirable virtue. One must also be loyal to oneself, though. You are not a servant of Lucullus. So you chose to help Lucullus. What moves you to action is a personal quest. And after all of this is done, what would you like to do, ideally? Compassion combined with a profound lack of imagination. Sometimes I forget you're a woman after all. I will not mince my words. This is a man's world. But I believe that can prove to be an advantage for you. I'm pretty sure many people had their own assumptions based on their rigid minds and thoughts. Yet you have changed the expected course of events. It is intriguing. I can't even begin to guess how many secrets you're still keeping. No doubt. And that's what fascinates me. I'm very much interested in finding out more about you. Shall we continue this conversation over dinner? I'm famished. This is no food. It's an edible poem. I'm sad to have reached the finale. A craftsman of the highest caliber. There must be many people trying to buy him off you. How do you resist? Loyalty to one's subjects is one of the most important of virtues. I admire your integrity. It's getting late. Your Zoe seem tired and you look ill at ease. What's on your mind? Do not be subservient to your worries. You carry a great weight on your shoulders. There's no shame in sharing the burden. I was never one for vapid chatter and shallow flattery. I apologize if I've come across as stiff. You are wise to. I feel I've got to know you much better tonight. Here's my first offer. I think we shall finish this flask in a more private setting. I'm sure there's a lot more you can show me. I always intended to. Just waited for an opportune moment. I have thoroughly enjoyed this day, and I would like to repeat it ad infinitum. So I have a proposal. You have displayed your aptitude for command and politics, and I admire your personality. But whatever your plans are, they will be difficult to bring to fruition as a woman. Certain things cannot legally be done by you. Ordinarily, an honorable man would not exploit such hardships, but few men are honorable. People are sure to interpret your situation as a weakness and take advantage. I am an honorable man. I think we can make a good couple. Will you marry me? Good. Your words warm my heart. I feel a great deal of affection for you as well. I'll take care of the arrangements tomorrow then, and make sure you retain everything you naturally have a right to retain. And then there's the issue of the wedding ceremony.
Statius nearly dropped an amphora full of olive oil in the triclinium. Oh, that boy will be the death of me.
Our personal supply of endless mirth is almost depleted. Shall I send...
We are being summoned to appear at the court.
If they have
You have
any
committed a criminal offense,
left, a rare commodity.
or so they claim.
We still have
Both
some
things can be true. Our actions sometimes cause harm to society, yet we may be unaware. Or perhaps you're being wrongfully accused. Only one way to find out. Someone must have suffered because of something you did. Frankly, there's no way to know unless we visit the magistrate. It is best not to ignore these things. The court may think of your silence as an acceptance of guilt. If you find yourself near the forum, you should talk to the magistrate. I will meet you there. It is irrelevant. A relationship with Cato could only serve you well. If you want to remain in the political game, you need a husband. That is good. You'll need all the advantages you can get. Despite all of our efforts, he did really position himself well politically. I would not be surprised to see him become a consul soon. Then we should get ready for a disaster of epic proportions.
Stable master and 2 horses in need of new shoes. Go with him to see Sextus. Hear the forum tomorrow. Salve. I see you're on your way out. Glad I caught you. In this case, it is I who is here to help you. Or, rather, your friend. Julia Callida has got herself into a great deal of trouble, and she has beseeched me to lend her my legal counsel. I told her I would represent her as a favor to you, if you are willing to owe me. For reasons that will become apparent, your friend is forced to maintain a low profile at the moment. She has chosen a discreet meeting spot, near the market. Please meet us there today, and she will explain the details of her predicament.
Bandages, fresh medicinal herbs.
I love your dress. Where did you get it?
Thank you. It was purchased from Iomachia's clothing market in Pompeii.
I must arrange to visit that soon then.
Salve, Domina. How can I be of assistance? That's right. Do you know my father? Oh, that's right. He's told us a lot about you. Please wait here. I'll go get him.
Legate, it's good to see you out of your uniform again. How is civilian life treating you this time? Indeed I have. My family must eat. She is. She is the youngest of the clutch. I tell her she should find a nice rich patrician boy to marry, but she insists she enjoys helping me sell what I make. It has been better, but it has also been worse. There will always be people in need of horseshoes and kitchen pots. Only the best things. You are held in great esteem in my household. For you, it would have to be something prestigious. Tell me, have you heard of a Parazonium? The very same. You have managed just fine through 2 campaigns without it, but if nothing else, I'd say you've earned the right to wield such a blade. What say you? I can sell you one that you'll be proud to show off. It's a symbol of prestige more than anything. Jewelry for a great soldier. To tell you the truth, I have one almost finished. It was ordered for the scion of another patrician house who was going to be a tribunus under Crassus. The young fool bedded the wrong girl and was stripped of his military commission, and the order was cancelled. If you'll wait for an hour, I will personalize it for you and finish the work. Ah, good, you're back. The Parazonium is finished. I engraved your initials on the hilt and got it nice and sharp for you. A well-tempered and carburized blade, if I do say so myself. Thank you, but it's not for sale. If you ever go to war again, I'll be with you. But here in Rome, I prefer my freedom. It was good to see you again, Legate. But if that'll be all, I must get back to work.
My cousin was at Alexandria, you know, on one of Vitellius Lurco's ships. How did they
You look like you've been sleeping poorly.
The ships arrived just in the nick of time.
It's kind of you.
Finally! Mecasta! I was starting to think you wouldn't come.
That's right, you told me last time we met.
There she is, the woman of the hour.
I need your help. They will kill me. I need someone to defend me at the court tomorrow. It's a long story. What do you want to know? Feels like a lifetime ago. Before I joined the Legion, I killed my husband. Sort of. People were looking for me, and I was on the run. I could have found other places to hide, but I chose the Legion because the life appealed to me. Then Lucullus, he saw me for what I truly was. And he allowed me to be that person. That was the first time I experienced freedom. And freedom to die on my own terms. Knowing that whatever happens to me is because of my decisions. It's not that easy. No matter how far I try to run, my past keeps catching up with me. Julius Calidus is a warrior of renown in the Legion, and he has slain countless men. He's a hero. Julia Calida has slain only one man. She is a murderer. And whenever I enter Rome, I turn back into Julia, the husband killer. He was an extremely controlling man. I couldn't leave the villa except in his company. Everything about how I dressed, who was allowed to visit me, all was decided by him. I couldn't live that way. We fought about it all the time. One of those fights took place atop the grand staircase. It got very heated. I pushed him. I wish I could tell you he died for a better reason. That he was a criminal, or that it was some grand conspiracy, or even just that he was hitting me. But his cruelty was of a much more insidious sort. And to the people of Rome, his was a perfectly acceptable way to treat his wife. This whole thing is their fault. When my brother Aulus finally invited me to dinner, I thought everything was going to be fine. Not exactly. They were setting me up for another marriage. Can you believe it? Everything was fine at first, and Aulus was speaking up for me. Now that my father is dead, he is pater familias, after all. Then suddenly, this ridiculous mule walks in. Burienus Crispus. I didn't even expect that kind of surprise.
That's a common characteristic of surprises.
Rome. Look. I am a murderer. And I thought we were over this with my family, but... pretty much. The moment I refused this new marriage they set up for me, Mother turned me in. I barely escaped. Thank you. I hadn't noticed. Any other brilliant observations you want to share with the class?
Your emotions are understandably frayed, Domina. But please do remember who your friends are in this trying time.
There will be a hearing tomorrow where they will try me for the murder of my late husband. I may be sentenced to death. I need Kikoro to advocate on my behalf.
Matricide. It's a difficult situation. Was he a particularly cruel man?
Not by Roman standards.
I would certainly not use that line in front of the public. Please answer my question.
He was a bit full of himself, but actually he didn't really do anything bad to me.
He didn't even whip you a little bit?
You think he could have?
Indeed not. A pity. This makes defense difficult. I didn't say that. I welcome the challenge, but you will owe me a great deal. I admire your loyalty. In a few years' time, I plan to run for consul. You will have to contribute a great deal to my campaign to pay me back for this.
Thank you. It would be impossible to repay you, but this means a lot to me. I feel like I'm multiple people in one. Yulia Kalida the warrior, and Yulia Kalida the murderer. I don't really know which one I am, but I can't be both.
We will see what happens. Walete, don't be late tomorrow.
An auction of fine Serwe will be held tomorrow by the House of Erasinus. Learned Greeks captured in the war against Mithridates. Strong-backed workers from Hispania and Mauritania. Erasinus has Serwe for every budget.
Awe, thank you for coming. Hopefully this matter will be resolved quickly. An admirable quality fit for a true Roman. This is about your Servus, Secundus. It seems that last night he got quite drunk. In his intoxicated state, he got into a fight with another Servus.
With all due respect, Domina, that's hardly the most relevant question we can ask here.
On the contrary, it's actually a surprisingly relevant question. Not only did he win, he broke the other man's arm.
Oh.
It is not my place to tell you how you should handle your Serwi. I am not a censor. Nevertheless, the punishment of your Servus is not the topic of this hearing. He is your Servus, is he not? His actions fall under your purview and responsibility. There's not much to say. The evidence is irrefutable. The other Servus was severely injured, costing his dominus valuable labor. Furthermore, there are criminal charges. This kind of violence is not to be tolerated. The sentence for the first offense will be mandatory. In total, this means you will have to pay 200 denarii to the offended dominus and 100 denarii to the state. You can... I understand. Then our proceedings are over.
A champion fight will occur on the Nones of this month between the legendary gladiators Carpophorus and Garnicus. This entertainment is provided for all the good citizens of Rome by the generous benefit.
I will not tolerate these hijinks in my court. Both parties to this case have selected me as your Iudex Privatus. Show some respect, or go find someone else to preside. Is that clear? Let us continue then. To the accused, I pose this question. Why did you kill your husband?
Be very careful, Kalida. I am here to argue on your behalf, but your answers will ultimately determine your fate.
Nevertheless, that was the outcome.
Intentions do matter. Many healers, in trying to cure a sickness, end up killing the patient. Does that mean the healer is a murderer?
What's your point, Senator? Was she trying to heal her husband? Your Cliens isn't known as a healer.
Certainly not. She's one of the most capable warriors of Legio Victrix. We know she is capable of killing a man like her late husband. However, her capabilities alone do not constitute evidence.
Intentions. Very well. Let us assume that death was accidental. Was she loyal to her husband?
Is that why you killed him, dear?
Must we endure constant heckling by the accused's mother?
It almost feels like you want your daughter convicted, Domina. Was it you who called on the court?
It was not. I did. I am the pater familias. Maybe that's where you belong indeed. You surely don't belong with us.
I do not understand exactly how you ended up in the Legion. Are they drafting women now?
He's questioning your character. That was artfully done. You didn't speak an uncomfortable truth, but you also did not lie.
Lucullus was a great imperator. If he picked you, he obviously must have seen something we do not. I think you are a dishonest person by nature, but Lucullus, I would trust even in death. I'm growing tired of this proceeding, and frankly, I've more or less made up my mind. Would the parties please repeat their demands?
We want her executed or exiled for her crimes against our family.
And we want her exonerated and free to walk the streets of Rome. I would ask the honored Iudex to take into consideration that my Cliens was once a friend of your nephew, Julius Caesar.
Very well. Since the incident in question happened years ago, evidence is in short supply. Thus, I must decide based on my own observations. Despite her generally deceptive personality and her unwomanly profession, I have concluded with reasonable certainty that Julia Callida is not guilty. I have found myself unable to decide without a shadow of a doubt. And doubt should benefit the accused. You are free, Domina.
Congratulations. I believe my work here is done.
You know I had no choice, sister. It was my duty. But despite it all, I am glad you're free. I will try to remember that. Wale, sister.
I've taken care of the payment. There's just one more matter we need to address. Secundus himself. An interesting decision. I will see to it that he's trained properly.
Hercules! What have you done? Silvius!
Who are you? Why did you kill that man?
No more blood needs to be spilled here. Please, just tell us what you want.
Well, that does not sound like something I would do. How long ago was this?
We're just a group of regular citizens who gather regularly to enjoy the finer things in life. Nobody is hurt, I swear on Juno Caprotina. The women are here by their own choice. The Senate has outlawed our gatherings, it's true, but only because they don't understand. They've given in to populist sentiment and slanderous rumors, that's all. Nothing we do here is wrong. Listen, I'm certain we can come to some sort of agreement. You are bereaved. Do you seek compensation? Get your hands off it! The bitch killed Silvius! She's mad! Stop her!
You want to try me too? I will kill you all if I must.
Save yourselves! Get the lictors! Get anyone!
Just one more. Should not be any trouble.
Don't hurt me, please!
I would never. Find your clothes and get out.
The great Gaeso Quinctius Aquilinus. Your reputation precedes you. They tell me you're here on business. So, let's discuss business. Indeed. I think I know who you're talking about. You seem to have an inexplicable soft spot for this girl. Curiously, I don't think you even know her name. I see. That sounds very important indeed. She must be quite valuable to you. This sets the price at an extremely high level. Too high for you, I'm afraid. I'd rather not. I would, however, gladly negotiate with that patrician friend of yours. Her vineyard has risen to quite a bit of fame over these past few years. A chance to make a competitor go bankrupt. Now, that is valuable to me. I have both money and time. Salve, Legate. I hope you have been informed as to the nature of our potential transaction. Go ahead.
I wouldn't expect anyone who makes the kind of piss you call wine to appreciate true craftsmanship. I'm thinking I can be persuaded to part with Lucia, the sewer in question, in exchange for, say, half your vineyards. How does that sound?
What? That is insane! It's not a fair price for anything. Surely you won't go ahead with this, Legate.
You do? Hush, Aquilinus. The grown-ups are talking. My clerk will write up the papers at once. As soon as you sign, the girl is yours.
The girls, you mean? I want my daughter as well.
You do?
What you want, my dear Aquilinus, is of no consequence. I have the one sewer for sale, and that's it. I have no intention of selling the little one. I see. And let me guess. The easy way is I just hand over my valuable assets to you for nothing, and the hard way is what? You attack me in my own villa?
What are you doing? I can't... This would lower us to his level. It would turn us into criminals.
Stupid move. There are only two of you, and no time for regrets.
Save yourselves! Get the lictors! Get anyone!
This is the end!
Watch out, you maniac!
Save yourselves! Get the lictors! Get anyone!
By Jupiter. What have we done? We have killed a citizen of Rome. Maybe. Or maybe there was. There had to be.
Please don't be so harsh on yourselves, Dominique. You've saved my life today. And the life of my daughter.
I hope you're right, Lucia. Go pick your girl up and take her to my friend's villa.
As you wish, Dominos.
Just Kaiser, please. Thank you for being here for me.
Have a nice day.
Do you need me?
Let me know.
I've already started the wedding preparations. Cato is such a fine young man. You've done so well for yourself. I could hardly have chosen better myself. Everyone respects Senator Cato. I'm sure he'll be consul one day.